Wow!
Yes, you heard me right. I just started Master Duel recently and I did a speedrun of obtaining Tearlaments. I tried to craft a tier engine as fast as possible and also free to play if possible. In this video I want to cover my early game progression in Master Duel and show you how I obtained my favorite deck in a really short amount of time. It's not only super fun to play but also one of the best decks in the current Master Duel meta. How many hours exactly did it take? Well, you will find out the answer around the end of this video. First of all, I really want to point out that I never played Master Duel myself before, but I coached friends who played Master Duel. And I was on summer vacation with one of them recently, which is by the way the main reason why I was unable to play at a European World Championship qualifier. Anyways, after watching him playing the game for a while against opponents who played like actual bots, I wanted to try it out myself and thought I could do better than 95% of the other Master Duel players. So on 31st July, I downloaded the game and I made a tutorial, then I went to sleep. The early game tutorials were so annoying because I feel like an expert in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I don't really need explanations at all that were literally made for absolute noobs. It's really similar to the catching tutorials in Pokemon games. I already completed the national decks in Generation 6. But then I launched Generation 7 and I had to go through so many useless tutorials for stuff that I already knew. Gosh, that was so annoying. So that kinda killed my motivation completely and I went to bed immediately after completing the tutorial. So I completed the tutorial, but I won't count this as actually playing the game. On the next day, 1st August 2024, around 10 PM I felt really bored again. So I launched Master Duel to see what you can do in the game after completing the tutorial. And my friend told me to play some solo mode missions to collect a bunch of gems as a new player. And this is exactly what I did. So after playing 3 to 4 storylines I already got overwhelmed with gems. My friend told me to save as many gems as possible and then spend all of them to purchase 10 special packs at once. Because those special packs have the chance to pull the cards that I really want to have. But I haven't played any ranked duels yet. Fortunately, I discovered that Master Duel allows you to play on loner decks this season, while offering you 3 loner decks to choose from. I already purchased a Blue Eye Structure deck 3 times, but those loner decks seem so much superior over the Blue Eye Structure deck or any deck that you can build with 3 copies of the Blue Eyes for Dragon Structure deck. The 3 loner decks Master Duel offered me this season were Cyber Dragon, Twin Sprite and Eldritch. I honestly think Cyber Dragon sucks, so I never even attempted to try out this loner deck and went to my first PvP match on Master Duel using Eldritch. This deck is extremely helmet, so it's unlikely that I will misplay. Unfortunately, I have no footage of my first Master Duel match, because I learned how to save replays only later in the game and also the first match wasn't really that interesting. So after my first game with Eldritch, I recognized that Eldritch as a loner deck might become really boring soon. I still remember the basic twin combos from my friend who had full power Twin Sprite on his account, so I chose to play Twin Sprite as loner deck for my next games. Oh boy, this deck turned out to be absolutely insane. It had such a strong engine and also a bunch of staple cards in the main deck, such as Ash, Imperm, Called By, and most importantly Maxi, which is just broken. This deck had like infinite one-card starters with Kisekil, Layla and Sunny Snitch to search any of those. One Kisekil or Layla is basically Gigantic Sprite, and Gigantic can go into blue and then blue can search Jet. Jet can search Starter for either Carrot or Red, or Double Cross, or Smashers, or Gamma Burst. Having Red and Carrot as actual negates and Kisekil summoning Layla to pop cards from my opponent felt so broken, especially when you have non-engine on top of it. And if your normal summon twin gets stopped with Ash, Veiler or Imperm, you can still beat it pretty easy by having Sunny Snitch or Secret Password as an extender, which can search Frost and then make Gigantic through Imperm. So this deck completely crushed all of the other deck in Rookie and Bronze and Silver tier, especially when you were playing against opponents who also played a loner deck like the Cyber Dragon or decks built from structure decks like Blue Eyes. I felt like I was playing an actual meta deck, not gonna lie. So I went at least 12-0, maybe I had even a 16 or 17 game win streak with this deck, I can't remember. While I was worried about getting maxied from my opponents, which is actually one of the main reasons why I haven't touched Master Duel earlier, I got hit by maxi pretty rarely because many of my opponents lacked the ultra rare gems to craft maxi. Also the twin deck had Ash, Called By and Crossout, so 3 different cards to beat maxi. And with this strategy I went skyrocket, climbed rank after rank and played some solo mode games in between PvP duels. And after 7.5 hours of grinding solo and PvP until 5:30 AM, I collected around 125 super rep points, by completing missions and claiming season rewards, and 5800 gems. I have to admit, overwhelming new players with such a huge amount of resources in the early game is a smart business move on their side, and probably really effective at getting new players into the game, even though the format is objectively worse than TCG. Also, the summoning animations and sound effects made Master Duel pretty enjoyable. It's an experience that you don't get from Dueling Book or other simulators. With 125 points and 5800 gems obtained completely free to play, I started making my Tearlaments deck by crafting kit colors, which unlocked a key for the Songstress of Sorrow's Song Secret pack, the pack where all tier cards are in. I put all of my resources into 10 pack bundles of Songstress of Song Secret packs and tried to pull as many Tearlaments cards as possible. And I got kinda lucky because I pulled 3 copies of Sharon, 1 Rhino Heart, 2 Kaleido Heart, 1 Royal Rare Perler Rhino, 1 Scream, and countless copies of Harness, Grief, Heartbeat, Metanoise, Sullic, and Crime. I pulled some more ultra rares like Mermaid Abyss Alacia, but fortunately also in Royal Rare. That means I got 30 points for dismantling instead of just 10. I played 2 to 3 more PvP duels with Twin Sprite to get some more gems and buy another 10 pack bundle. I also completed missions and collected gems by buying packs, unlocking new secret packs, and crafting and dismantling. Therefore I ended up with enough gems to buy the Talents special pack, which gave me a guaranteed copy of Triple Tactics Talents, and 10 master packs to pull potentially more ultra rares to dismantle. In total, I was able to pull enough ultra rares to craft a second copy of Reinhardt, a second Scream, Vulkalos, Fenrir, Fairy Tail Snow, and Rivikama. And then I had only 4 ultra rare crafts left, so I had to be really strategic with my remaining crafts. There was no point for me to craft cards like Foolish Pearl or Road Arm, when I had the option to craft cheaper alternatives like Grief. The same applied to SP Little Knight, which I just replaced with the Nightmare Links. But I still had to complete the main deck and find 40 cards that are both extremely easy to craft and playable. So I went for the Destiny Hero approach and crafted Garura and Beatrice. With only 2 crafts remaining that could be either Winder, Baron, Redoer or SP. I went for the cards that allowed me to extend with my engine, and those are Baron and Redoer. I still had to craft Keldo, but Keldo didn't really feel necessary because I had Modora and Beatrice. So 1 Shoveler should be fine in lower tiers. Overall, I think you really have to finish your engine before you start to craft any non-engine. You can have the best non-engine in the entire world, but it is not going to win your games if the engine is weak. Also, when crafting the engine, I think it's really important to prioritize crafting extra deck cards over main deck cards, because the extra deck is available all the time, while ultra rares in the main deck are only available if you draw them. In the grand scheme of things, having Baron and Redoer in the extra deck is probably going to win you more games than 1 random maxi or 1 random board break in the main deck, which you are only going to draw around 15% of opening hands. Speaking about board breakers, as you can see, at this point I ran completely out of resources to craft, but I still had some super rare crafts left. So I crafted Dark Hole as a super rare going second card, which could be also an extender going first if Sharon is your only engine card. In the end, by completing a bunch of missions in solo mode and climbing through the ladder with the Sprite Twin Loner deck, I collected around 8000 gems and went all in with them on Tearlament. The result was a playable but not perfect Tearlaments deck, due to having only 2 Rhinoheart, 2 Scream and no Maxi yet. But I still had a deck that was good enough to enter PvP duels in silver after playing Master Duel for only 1 day. And this deck destroyed my opponents even harder than the Twin Sprite Loner deck. The end boards are just disgusting. You can end on Fenrir, Beatrice, Rukalos, Baron, Perler Rhino, Mudora, Snow and 2 to 3 tier traps. So depending on your mills, 9 to 10 interruptions. With such a huge amount of interruptions combined with Omni Negates that creates a nearly unbreakable endboard. Therefore the deck almost instantly wins going first every single time when you can resolve kit colors. In the higher silver tiers, people seem to be more aware about my deck and immediately surrendered on either kit color summon, normal Rhino Heart or Pearl Rhino activation. And to be honest, it's a reasonable move for them, because without any hand traps to stop kit colors, the chance of winning is close to 0. And every single kit color summon released so much dopamine, so I became a little bit addicted during the early game. Also, this deck is surprisingly good into Maxi, because you can add on kit colors, Sullic, Pass. And with kit colors and Sullic, you can build up your own board during the opponent's turn. So with Sullic, you have 1 monster negate and you get mill 5 with kit colors, which could result in Rukalos and also Mudora or Snow. It means you have monster negate, Rukalos negate, and either Snow Book of Moon or Mudora Graveyard Shuffle, and those are 3 solid interruptions through Maxi. And that might be actually sufficient to stop certain decks completely. So one day after crafting the tier deck, I hit gold with tier even though my deck was still lacking so many good cards. However, by crushing countless noobs in silver and gold and climbing up in ranks, I farmed enough gems to buy the Forbidden Droplet and Ash Blossom special pack. Those packs gave me more ultra rares to dismantle, so I was able to craft my first copy of Maxi. Now I had 1 Maxi, 1 Ash Blossom, 1 Talents and 1 Droplet, so enough decent non-engine cards to replace Dark Coil in the main deck. After playing Master Duel for only 2 days, I already reached Gold 1 and surpassed my friend who brought me into Master Duel, and all of that completely free to play. And that's it, I started from the bottom on a completely new account. After 7.5 hours playing Master Duel free to play, I had a Tearlaments deck with almost completed engine. After playing 9 or 10 hours in total, I reached gold and I obtained 4 ultra rare non-engine stable cards. And after around 13 or 14 hours, I hit gold 1 completely free to play and surpassed my friend who paid for gems while I did not. On the 4th day, I also reached platinum 5 completely free to play with only 1 Maxi, 1 Ash Blossom, 1 Talents and 1 Droplets in the main deck. And with all of those gems from ranking up, I was able to buy the Lightning Storm bundle and the Nibiru bundle. Those packs gave me more ultra rares to dismantle, so I was able to complete my playset of Maxi. Now with triple Maxi, my deck became even stronger, which made climbing up in the tiers easy, even though the skill of my opponents increased in gold and platinum compared to silver. However, that did not stop me from completely destroying my opponents with Tearlaments. Roughly 1 week after starting Master Duel on a completely new account, I reached Diamond 5, already the 2nd highest league after Master. But here is where my progression became slower and slower. In the Diamond League, the broad majority of my opponents play actually meta, like Centurion, Snake Eye, Duel, and some of them the newly released Voiceless Voice. Currently, I am in Diamond 3, but I should hit Master soon. Overall, it was a refreshing experience to step back a little bit from the TCG and explore something new. I really enjoyed the Master Duel early game adventure and Tearlaments with kit colors in general. It was so much more fun than I expected, even in a format with best of 1 and Maxi. Therefore, I think I will bring more Master Duel content in the future. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, comment and subscribe so that I know which style of content you want to see more often. Anyways, have a nice day, see you in the next video, bye!